Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Leslie Said What? Yes, welcome, guys. So, guys, tonight's going to be, I don't want to say a doozy, but I think it will be really, really eye opening. I think that's the best word or words. I don't know if eye opening is considered one word or two, but either way, I think that is the best way to put it. Is this is going to be an eye opening experience for parents, future parents, anybody else who has access to a teen. This is going to be vital that you pay attention. Okay. So, what we're going to talk about tonight is hold on, wait for it, guys. Tonight, we're going to be talking about social sex, a major problem among teens. So, okay. All right. We're going to break it down in just a minute. But before we do that, join the conversation. Okay. So, feel free to make comments. Let me know you're here. Say hello. If there's any comments or questions or concerns that you want to voice as the presentation is going on, I don't even want to say presentation because let's be for real. Y'all know me. This is going to be really laid back and really chill. So feel free to share, comment, whatever, via the comments below. Okay. And I will recognize you and we can have a conversation together. All right. So again, tonight we are going to be talking about how social sex is a major problem among teens. Now, I know you're like, what are you talking about, girl? What you talking about? All right. So a lot of times people don't understand what I mean by social sex, okay? But I'm going to explain all that, all right? And it's just so you know, this is a little disclaimer. This does not apply to every teenager, okay? Because you know you're going to have somebody on here that's going to be like, not my child, not my child. Okay, it may not be your child, but you don't know if it's your child because I'm telling you, once I explain today, it's going to make you think. It's going to make you have those hard conversations. It's going to make you have those uncomfortable conversations that you may have been avoiding all this time. That is going to be essential for you and your baby. Okay. Even though they're not babies no more. All right. All right. Hey, Keisha girl. How are you? I'm so glad you're here. So yeah. So guys, like I said, this does not apply to every teenager, but it may apply to some. So go ahead. Like I said, feel free to comment and join in the conversation. So here we go. Diving right in. All right. Social sex. Let me explain what this means. Okay, so you guys know how, like, for some of us back in high school and stuff like that, there was a thing called social drinking or social smoking, those things like that, right? You got around your friends, and just in the middle of them, in the midst of all of them, it's not that you necessarily were a drinker or a smoker. You just did it because you happened to be, it goes with the territory. It was part of the environment. That's what you did, right? That's what social sex is now. Okay, so it used to be like social drinking and social smoking and stuff like that used to be the concern. Now it's social sexing. I guess that's the thing. All right, so social sex is a problem. Let me tell you what I mean. So just so you know, as parents, okay, the words body count are going to be essential. Okay, body count. What the kids mean by their body count is that is how many people that they have had sex with. Okay. And I'm not talking about like, they just had oral sex or no, this is actual penetrated sex that they have had. That is what they call their body count. All right. I hear it all the time at work, not just at my current school, at my previous school, and all the other high schools I've worked at. This is what the kids are calling it, is their body count. Now, what's going to blow your mind is that most of the kids are losing their virginity at 12 years old. I know that sounds crazy, but that's the average between 12 and 13. So at the middle school level. Okay. I know, right? It's crazy. Now, what's crazy is I teach sex ed to teenage students. Okay. But when it comes to talking to their parents or talking to other adults, it becomes a very difficult conversation, but it shouldn't be because I cannot tell you guys the amount of kids that have come to me because the condom broke, the kids who have come to me because they have a pregnancy scare or it burns when they pee. And so now they have an STD. Why can't they go to their parents? And that's what gets me is, don't get me wrong. I am both honored and happy to help everybody's child. You know that. You guys, if you know me at all, as a high school teacher, like I love my babies. Okay. So I want them to come to me. But at the same time, guys, there should not be a situation that your child cannot comfortably come to you as their parent to discuss. Okay. I have kids coming to me because, like I said, they think they have chlamydia or they think they have HPV or genital warts, genital herpes, like these different things that they need to go to their parents because honestly, me being who I am, of course, I'm going to help them get the resources that they need. but what better person to help them than their parent? Okay. All right. So, like I said, kids are coming because they're like, these are some of the main things. The condom broke. What do I do now, Miss Rob? Or, Miss Rob, it was my first time and I haven't had my next period yet. So how do I know if I could be pregnant? Or, Miss Rob, um, does this count as sex? I'm not sure it did. I'm not sure what we did. Does this, guys, they should be coming to you. You're their parent. Because I'm telling you, I'm having kids coming to ninth grade with a body count of 3, 4, and 5. And what I mean, again, if you are just joining us, welcome. But the body count I'm talking about is that's what the kids use as their slogan. So as an indicator of how many people they've had sex with. That's what they call their body count. Okay. So I'm having kids come into ninth grade. I repeat, ninth grade, telling me that they have a body count of 3, 4, and 5 that they slept with, had sex with. Like, it's mind blowing. But my thing is that most of them tell you is that like they're experimenting. They don't know exactly what they're doing, but this is just their way of doing it to figure it all out. Why are they not getting help and talk from their parents? Guys, that is a major concern. I have senior students who have a body count of 27, and this was at other schools that I've taught at. I had one girl who also was telling me that she had a body count of 15. She lost count after 15 people having sex with. She can't remember how many people she's had. But she said she counted up to 15. After that, she can't remember who she had sex with, however many. Because she said her boyfriend had broke up with her and she was really upset. So she just started having sex with a bunch of guys to get back at him. I lie to you not. And if you know me at all, I am a straight shooter. I tell you guys the straight truth. And I'm telling you guys, this is craziness that's going on. Okay. You have kids having sex left and right like it's no big deal. I'm dead serious. Like I said, the problem is that it's now this thing that's like social acceptance, right? So it's like now there's no risk for them. Because like when we were in high school, it was more of like, oh, I don't want to get pregnant, or oh, I don't want to get an STD because I'm gonna have to go to my mom to get help. Not now, guys. All right, you ready for this part? It's gonna blow your mind, parents. Because of HIPAA law, you guys know what HIPAA is, right? All right. I'm sure you guys know what HIPAA means. HIPAA is that Medical Privacy Act. Okay. Because of HIPAA, a child that is 14, okay, or older does not have to have parent permission for an abortion. Actually, what the law actually says is that no minor has to have parent permission for an abortion or an STD treatment. Yeah. So I've had several students who said, yeah, Miss Rob, once I saw those 2 lines on that pregnancy test, I went straight to the abortion clinic. Their parents have no idea. Okay, guys. It is getting scarier and scarier by each school year. All right. I had a student recently tell me that she has been taking morning after pills. Okay, you guys know what I'm talking about. Back in the day, it used to be called it was still morning after pill, I think. Well, you have to take it, obviously. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a way to just to secure the fact that there is no merging of parts, okay, to create a baby. So what ends up happening is they take this morning after pill. I had a girl, y'all, recently tell me that she's been taking the morning after pill. She's taken 4 in a month, 4 morning after pills in 1 month. She's taking them like they're M&Ms. And for what? Like, yes, that's it. Thank you, Rachel. Plan B. Okay, they're taking them like they're M&Ms, like legit. I'm dead serious. Okay, you guys have to be present. I cannot express that enough. Please be present in your kids' lives. Like, we as their teachers can be there for them. I promise you, we do our best, but it's nothing better than hearing it. And if you have that relationship with your parent, hearing it from the parent. Again, I am both honored and happy to be there for your child, but there's nobody better there to be there for your child than you. Okay. Now, another thing I wanted to point out is that the reason why this whole social sex thing is coming about is because, okay, think about it, right? The kids, they'll drink, they'll do drugs, they'll do stuff like that. We all know that, right? It honestly helps boost that dopamine in your brain, that makes you happy. Okay, well, that same happy hormone that goes off in your brain with drugs or alcohol or even food sometimes is the same woohoo dopamine that goes off during sex. So that same addictive mindset that the kids have for alcohol, drugs, whatever, equates to the same addiction or engagement that they have with sex. So they're constantly engaging in these risky behaviors and their body counts are going up, up, and up. Okay. And what I mean is, like, again, by body count is the amount of people that they've had sex with. That's the kids' phrase for it, is their body count. All right. The most common amount of issues I hear is mostly with the STDs. We had a chlamydia outbreak a couple years ago at my old school. And so we were trying to figure out who the original person was. Well, here's the thing. The kids are encouraged to go to the health department, or they're encouraged to go to this resource. Never do they get to the point, because the kids are so scared, do they say go to the parent, because the kids are terrified. Okay. And let me just explain this for the parents who aren't aware. Y'all, if your child has an STD, the quicker you catch it, the better. But what's happening is these kids are acquiring these STDs and they're terrified to tell their parents. So they hide it, they keep it away, and then it gets worse and progressively worse and progressively worse. An untreated STD leads to cancer, and it can lead to all types of reproductive problems. It can prevent them from having children in the future if it goes untreated. But it's only because these kids are operating out of fear. Okay? Please talk to your kids. I cannot say enough. Talk to your kids. Talk to your kids. And the sad part is we all know that as teenagers, their minds aren't fully developed yet, right? Like, their brains, honestly, this is obviously science. Their brains are not fully developed yet. So the decisions that they're making aren't the wisest. Okay? But when it comes to sex, it is out of control. Okay? It is completely out of control. They are so hypersexual. I have girls acting just like guys. You know, like back in the day, the guy's mindset was like, yo, let me get that right quick. And, you know, then he sleeps with the girl and you never see him again. I have girls join that. Like, girls who are actually engaging in situations like that, where they're like just sleeping with guys and they're like, no, I'm done with you now. You can go. I'm telling you. And this is at the high school level. Please, again, talk to your kids. Talk to your kids. Let's go to the comments real quick. All right. So I see here. Okay. So Nessia says, yes, it's scary the freedom that our youth have and how they have access to so much, like so much. It's insane. And like I said, HIPAA law prevents parents from having access to that medical information if a child gets an abortion, if a child gets an STD. Those are the two main things that are covered under HIPAA. So even going to the school nurse is like, hey, I can't tell the parent, I can't do, because of HIPAA. We have to be careful. Okay. So again, you just don't know. That's why it's so important to talk to your kids. I get them trying to be preventative, but people can get sick and die even from procedures and meds. It's so true. Like, there's so much that the kids need to be educated on. Yes, me as their teacher, obviously I do educate them on, STDs and things like that. But nobody is a better teacher than the parent. Yes, thank you, Clem. And good evening to you, Gloria. Nessia says parents have to be active and have these open conversations. The days of trying to raise sheltered kids are over. Oh my goodness, Nessia, you can say that 100 times, because their phones alone give them access to more things than I can ever even remember having in high school or middle school or whatever. Because like I said, if you're just joining me, there are middle school kids that are having sex. Usually the average rate that they are losing their virginity is between 12 and 13 years old. Hey, Shamari, thanks for joining. She says, as a senior in high school, some people think that it is a joke when it isn't. It is not something that should be taken as a joke. I have built an amazing relationship with my mom where we can talk about anything and everything. And Shamari, that is so awesome. And girl, know how rare that is, because that's amazing that you can have these open conversations with your mom and she receives it and is able to help you through it. So that's awesome. Nessia says, my daughter's in second grade and a girl in her class was telling everyone during recess that she was a virgin. Yeah, see, it's insane. And it's getting younger and younger. And honestly, it's because of their devices, the things that they see on TV, all of these other aspects that are incorporated. Now, the thing is people are like, I don't understand. How do kids suddenly become so hypersexual? Well, the reason the hypersexual stuff came in is, what are they watching? Number one, these shows is a hot mess. Bridgerton, like how am I high school students be talking about some Bridgerton? Okay, because y'all know Bridgerton was a little bit much. Okay, you know what I mean? Some of y'all. Okay, like I tell my friends, anything to get your legs shaking when you watching it, you probably shouldn't be watching it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That now the new obsession is euphoria, and apparently that's completely inappropriate as well. So if your kids are constantly, here's what you guys need to look at it as: what you feed will grow. If your kids are constantly feeding that sexual appetite, that sexual mindset, then of course they're going to continuously be sexual. That's all they're going to think about. Okay, so that's why you have these kids with these numerous amounts of bodies that they call them. It still bothers me if they call it a body count. The amount of people they've had sex with is apparently their body count. Like what? Lakeisha says, I still cannot believe that parents are not having this conversation with their kids. I'm so grateful my kids are open with us and we are with them. Lakeisha, that is amazing. And it's, again, so rare. The amount of kids that come to me out of fear because they don't want to have to tell their parent, because they don't know how their parent's going to react. They don't know what their parent's going to say. It's honestly disturbing. Rachel says, I believe that sex is still thought of as a negative, but it's a natural part of life. So I think it is important that we make it part of constant. Yes, Rachel. Okay, she just hit the nail on the head. Y'all, that's what I'm saying. Why is the word sex considered oops, she said sex. What? Like, it is legit a part of life. Therefore, talk about it. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, it just makes me so uncomfortable to discuss those things with my children. They're already talking about it. They're talking about it with their friends. They're getting access from Google. They're getting all types of information. So why not you give them that conversation and you have that conversation with them? Because here, I'm telling you, if you ever saw The Greatest Showman, in that movie, he says, comfort is the enemy of progress. And in this situation, I'm telling you, comfort is the enemy of progress. There's not going to be a change if the parents don't step in to help change it. Okay. And if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even need to be here. This does not apply to my child. Nobody has any idea what applies to their child, because I can tell you right now, I see it every day. The student who I see in my classroom is far different from the kid you probably see at home. Okay. I'm just putting that out there. Okay. Just putting that out there. Nessie says, so my daughter came home asking about what a virgin was. It ticks me off that what kids are exposed to, even if we don't talk to our kids about certain stuff, someone else will. 110%. I know that's not a thing. It's 100% is 100%. But I'm serious. That's literally exactly right. Somebody's going to talk to them. And do you want them telling them things that don't apply to you or you don't agree with? Then by all means, talk to your kids. Okay? Nessie says sex is in everything. Everything. I mean, even the Spider-Man cartoons on YouTube. Elsa has these huge boobs on YouTube. It's a hot mess. It is a mess. It absolutely is a hot mess. Okay? Here's the problem. Okay? I just want to explain this. These kids are now experimenting. They're all experimenting. Okay? And I remember one student said she was in a relationship, a triple relationship. So, triple and couple, the two words together. So they're in a triple relationship. So it's her and two guys in a relationship together. The three of them are in a relationship. Okay. So they're experimenting. They're doing all kinds of things. We don't know if they're being safe. Now get this. All right. I'm gonna blow your mind right quick. My students say that, wearing a condom is considered diet sex. What does that even mean? I mean, I know there's Coke and Diet Coke. So apparently to have to put on a condom is that's like diet sex, Miss Rob. Who wears a condom? That's exactly literally the other day. That's what a student said to me. Who wears a condom? Because it's considered diet sex. I had never even heard that term before. Rachel says you as the parent or teacher can also give the correct information, because of a lot of students, even at a high school level, do not have the proper knowledge. That is absolutely right, Rachel. You can say that 10 more times. The thing is we as teachers see things that sadly the parents don't see and aren't aware of. And At the high school level, you'd be surprised at how uninformed they are. The things that the girls and guys are just allowing themselves to go through that they don't necessarily have to go through, but if they have a good mentor to break it down for them and explain to them how they don't have to put up with the things that they put up with, they don't have to go through what they're going through. Things could be so much better. Let me explain this also. Teen boys fall hard for girls. Like it, and this is what even I had this conversation with my students recently. One of my boys, he had said, Miss Rob, listen, when a teen boy falls in love, they fall in love. And they said they fall hard. Here's the thing. He said, however, Miss Rob, when they break your heart, you stop caring. And he said that's why his body count is so high. He said, right now, Miss Rob, he's like, Miss Rob, right now I'm sleeping with 3 different people. I'm having sex with 3 different people, but it's because this chick had hurt me, and now I'm not going to let myself get hurt like that no more. So, hey, I told all 3 of them what's going on, and you know what? One of the girls said, it's okay, Miss Rob. I know I'll never be the main chick, but I'm okay being the side chick. Like, what? You have that little respect for yourself, that little self-esteem for yourself, that little self-confidence for yourself, that you're okay being somebody's side piece because you know you'll never be the main, and that's okay with you? What? How is that okay? Like, so now it comes into question how these kids view themselves, their self-esteem, their self-confidence, their self-worth. Like, what is happening? Again, relationship with their parents needs to be done. I'm just saying. Okay. Now, parents, I know that you're like, well, what you want me to do? Now, some parents are like, I'll just put them on birth control. But birth control, honestly, is a Band-Aid. That's what I put it. It's like putting a big, giant old Band-Aid because that's not fixing the issue. And condoms, you're like, I'm just going to give them condoms. Well, condoms give them confidence because now they're like, yo, in my wallet, I got a whole thing of condoms. Let's go, girl. What's up? Okay. You can't just throw contraceptives at them and expect they'll figure it out. It'll be all right. Because that's not the case. That's not how it works. All right. Yeah, Nessia. I'm not even exaggerating. 2 words to comment that: empathy and self-confidence. Shaking my head. Yes, exactly. Empathy and self-confidence. 100%. Like, I just don't understand the lack of self-confidence. Yeah, okay, come on, let's be for real. When we were all in high school, going through puberty, you're a girl, you're a teenager. Of course, you're going to be a little hard on yourself, or you want to look this way or be this way or have this thing or that thing going on for you. But that was like the base of it. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to sleep with a whole bunch of people just because I know this. I'm never good enough to be the main girl. What? That's just it's mind blowing for me. Okay. So the whole it's, if you're a teen girl watching this, because I know some of my teen girls are watching this, it is never too late to go backwards. Like, it's never too late to be like, you know what, girl, I'm done doing this. I'm done acting like this. Now, okay, so here's this other part, is that a lot of girls will be like, oh my gosh, so I'm reclaiming my virginity and I'm going to be a virgin again. I'm going to be a born again virgin. I don't know where that came from. And I don't know where that terminology came from. But if one more person tell me that, I'm going to be like, boo, I'm going to need you to take a second thought. Okay? Because you can't be a born again virgin. That's not a thing. Okay? You can change what you're doing and to have a better approach to it, but you can't just up and say, just kidding, I'm a virgin now. That's not a thing. All right? And so if people are wondering, like, okay, well, how are the kids getting to this point? Like, what? First of all, what are they doing with their boyfriend and girlfriends? Like, how are they getting to? And the thing is, let me tell you about that. One of my boys, this is what he said. This is at my other school. He had said, Miss Rob, a girlfriend is just guaranteed booty. That's all a girlfriend is for him, is guaranteed booty. Because he knows that he does not have to worry about trying to convince some other girl to have sex with him, because he knows that his girlfriend will be guaranteed booty. Now, he still cheats. And he still sleeps with other girls because, if he can get the opportunity, he has the opportunity. But at least he knows he has guaranteed booty if necessary. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Another point is I had another girl who told me, Miss Rob, I'm ready to be a mom now. I'm ready to be a mom. She's in 11th grade. Miss Rob, I'm ready to be a mom now. I'm like, sweetie, what? She goes, yeah, I am. I'm ready to have a baby. I know I can do it. I just have to wait till next month when he gets out of jail. I lied to you not. Actual conversation. Yeah, just a tad disturbing. Just a tad. Okay. But like I said, there are middle schoolers with body counts of 3, 4, and 5 people they've had sex with. There are sophomores with body counts of 15 people or more they've had sex with. I have seniors and juniors, 26, 27 people that they have had sex with. That's their body count. So I'm just saying, okay, as parents, just be careful, especially when these kids can go get secret abortions and they don't need anybody. All they do is just get an older adult to accompany them, and they just have to be able to pay. And again, HIPAA protects them. So that's not something that you're going to be able to have full access to. Now, real quick, I'm just going to tell you these pointers on how to talk to your kids about sex. Okay. Number one, when you're about to sit down and talk to your kid, make it a chill, relaxed environment. Do not go in and be like, okay, and you all nervous and scared, and you like, let me get some water. Mama just want to talk to you. Chill, okay? Chill, all right? And listen to your kid first. So that's the number one thing you want to do is listen to your kid first. Let them speak. Let them share with you what they want to share with you. And you can phrase it however you want, but just let them tell you, like, without judgment. So watch your facial expressions, okay? watch your reactions, okay? Pump the brakes a little, okay? So that they feel comfortable sharing. Because the moment they say, well, Mom, I happen to have had sex 2 times before. I mean, you're like, say what? You did what? Well, who was it? Who was? Chill, okay? Because that's what they fear. Is they fear that they'll be attacked, they'll be judged, they'll be crucified. Okay, so you have to. I'm telling you, with today's teen, y'all, you got to just take it easy. Okay, make sure you listen to them first. Number one, that's listen to your child when they are talking. Hear them. Don't just be listening, but actually thinking about what you're going to say in your head. Just no. Clear your mind and actually listen to what your child is trying to tell you. Okay. All right. Like I said, again, watch your facial expression, watch your tone and your judgment. Okay. Number 2, let them know you've been there and you can share what you want and what you don't want. I know some parents are like, girl, I ain't telling them what I had did. Okay. You don't have to tell them everything. You don't have to tell them in detail. Be like, yo, we was in there. No. So you don't have to tell them in detail. But you do need to let them know that you're human and you understand their struggles. You've been there. You get it. Okay. So that's part of it. All right. So let them know you've been there. All right. And only share what you're comfortable sharing. Okay. And it doesn't matter if the situation is really awkward. It's fine. It's going to be awkward because you're talking to your kid about a subject that you may not exactly be comfortable with. Hey, Dakota. Sorry. One of my kids' moms told me, he said, hey, Dakota. Natalie said, I wasn't even ready to be a mom when I became one. Girl, you said that. I hear you, Natalie. And so can you imagine like these kids who literally are either, because like Natalie, Keisha, all of us that were in Ness, all of us that were in high school, around the same time, we all know, like back then it was like, oh my gosh, she's pregnant. Oh my God. Nowadays it's like, oh, it's okay. If you get pregnant, you just go get an abortion. That's literally what's regarded at school. That's how the kids disregard it. It's kind of sad. No, it is sad. It is what it is. Okay. Or they just go get a morning after pill. I had one girl come to me recently. She was scared to death because she had sex with this guy and she couldn't figure out what to do now. Like, because he told her after that he didn't use a condom. And so she's like, Miss Rob, what does that mean? Does that mean I'm pregnant? I was like, well, it's not a guarantee that you're pregnant. See what I'm saying? These kids think they have sex one time and they're pregnant. So again, they're not being educated properly. They don't have anybody to talk to and explain these things to them. Okay. Like I said, again, I said, this is my 3rd time saying it. I have no problem talking to your kids. That's my job. But it would be nice if they could talk to their parent. Okay. Carolyn says, I am so thankful I have a socially awkward child. Oh my gosh, Carolyn, leave it to you. I love you. Okay. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? I just wanted to share those 3 points with you guys. So I don't think I broke them down properly the first time, but number 1, again, listen to your child, no judgment. Let them know that if they get caught up in a situation, you will come. It doesn't matter. Because guys, I'm sorry, it almost brings me to tears to think about one of my girls who was so scared to death to call her parents in the middle of the night at a party, and she was in an uncomfortable situation that she ended up trying to walk home in the middle of the night because she'd rather have tried to walk home and try to hitchhike instead of calling her parent to come get her from that situation. That's never okay. Never okay. That's when it crosses an even more dangerous line. No child should fear their parents to that extent. Okay? Ever. And people are like, you're not a parent. You don't know. Honey, trust me. As a teacher, and these teachers who are in the feed here with me, we see your kids more than you do. So I may not be a parent, but I know how to handle kids and talk to kids clearly because sometimes I know more than the parent knows. And again, they should know more than me 100%. I agree with that. But there's a reason that they talk to me and they're too scared to talk to their parent. Rachel says, so what can teachers when can teachers help and also encourage them to talk to the parents? So teachers, what we can do as teachers is honestly, when it comes to explaining to parents, like literally just like when we know there's a concern, if the child has voiced a concern or we are aware of and we have like legit knowledge of a concern in this area, we need to figure out either a way to speak directly with the parent and just say, hey, I'm just letting you know. However, here's what I want you guys to understand. As a teacher, as a observing party, whatever, if you are a person who you know the parent is just irresponsible, like let's be for real, not every parent is responsible and not every parent is going to talk to their child. Some parents right now would look at this and just laugh and be like, whatever, they got to learn like I had to learn. Okay, so if that is a problem, then we as a mentor, a teacher, a social worker, whatever, would need to step in and assist those kids as best as we can. I mean, we don't want to cross the line, but we do want to be there as much as we can if their parents can't. Because I'm telling you, they're having sex regardless. So we might as well be as proactive as possible. All right, Natalie. Keisha says, yes, don't let your child be in fear to call you. Yes, because I'm telling you, Keisha, like, girl, repeatedly, I have seen kids say, well, Miss Rob, I just didn't know what to do. I was just too scared. But they need to know, like Keisha just said, they need to know that they don't have a fear. There shouldn't be no fear to call you. As a parent, they should know that they can call their parent. Doesn't matter what hour of the night. That mama's coming, daddy's coming. Doesn't matter what the situation is. Natalie says, not that she goes anywhere, but I tell Kaylee to call me whenever, wherever. I'll ask no questions. Just call me. I love that. See, that's something that I've noticed amongst other parents, teen parents as well. Some of the ones who are more involved, that's something that they say often is they tell their child, there'll be no questions asked. Just call me. Because that takes away an element of that fear. It takes away that discomfort. It takes away that embarrassment, or that part when your parents could whoop you, spank you, but nothing affects you more than when a parent tells you they're disappointed in you. So this helps to take care of that situation. Okay, to let them know there'll be no questions asked. I'll come. Just call me. Okay, because then the child feels comfortable. Now let me tell you another tip, parents, that one of my friends told me that she does with her teenagers, and this is amazing. So if her daughter is in a situation where she knows that she doesn't want to be embarrassed because she's really uncomfortable and she wants to leave, she says, my mom wants me to come home. She just texted me. And so she says that's when she tells her daughter to text her to come get her. She's like, sorry guys, my mom just texted me and she said I have to go. So she's on her way. That is a good way to cover you. And the mom said, hey, blame it on me. Be like, I said you had to go. And that way your child also can escape those situations. Okay. That way they have a point of escape. So again, those are examples of involved parents who have those things set up. Again, same thing like Natalie said, that they can call you, no questions asked. And the way that, well, Keisha, your son is amazing. And same with you, Natalie. Like, you guys are raising freaking amazing kids. But some parents don't have this type of rapport and relationship with their kids, and that's where it falters, and that's where the problems come in. All right, are there any questions, comments anymore before we go? Hey Lois, hope you're doing okay. So again, I hope this was helpful. I just wanted to put out there because I know that like when most of the times people talks about teenagers and sex and vaping and drugs and things like that, that it's kind of like a glaze over topic. However, the seriousness of the social sex acceptance thing is a problem. Because I'm telling you, if one more kid comes and tells me that there were 2 air mattresses at the party and her friend was having sex on one and she was having sex on the other one, what? Like, this social sex acceptance thing is absolutely ridiculous. Okay? Because again, most of the times the kids say they have sex buddies, and you and your sex buddy do your thing. If he has a girlfriend or you have a boyfriend, it's fine as long as everybody knows. And then that's the same kids that'll come to you and be like, Mr. Rob, it burns when I pee. Okay, like, so again, please, for the love of God, talk to your kids. But if you can't, if you won't, Miss Rob will always be here for her babies. So one way or another, they're gonna get what they need, and they'll be able to talk to someone because Miss Rob will always be here for them. Okay, that's just an FYI. If there's no questions, no concerns, I want to thank you all so much for joining me. Okay, thank you so much for coming. Like, honestly, without you guys, there's no show. So I'm glad you came. So Leslie Said What is season 3, episode, what is this, 3? Yep. Oh, wow. Already. Episode 3 is out.